What's up, guys? Mike here. I got a lot of requests from you guys asking me to do a video on the new hot IPO going out on December 10th, this Thursday, none other than Airbnb, and it will be trading under the ticker symbol ABNB. I'm going to go over this stock that's coming out on Thursday. I'm going to tell you guys what their financial position is, what the ability of this company is, what kind of opportunity you can have on getting into this stock early while it's at IPO, what you guys should be looking out for, its revenues, its financial status, the news that's going out, how much shares that they're going to be selling, how much the company valuation is going to be going for, and what things you should be expecting when a company goes IPO, because there is a lot of risk that you need to consider when you go and buy a IPO, because usually some IPOs do not tend to do well and some IPOs tend to do very well. Let's take Snowflake for example, because that stock just took off and it did die a little bit, but again, Snowflake took off after their first quarter earning. So with new IPOs, you can be playing huge risks, and at the same time, you can make a lot of money with taking huge risks at the same time. Take example, Palantir. When it first went IPO, that stock was crashing and going down pretty much for several weeks straight before it took off and did some damage to the market, and everyone was just all crazy hyped about it. So I'm gonna give you guys all the information you need to know about Airbnb, what you guys can expect, and how you guys can trade this stock. So anyways, let's not waste any more time. Make sure you guys always smash that like button, hit subscribe, and let's begin. Yeah. So let's see where Airbnb is at. Right now, the stock has not gone IPO yet. Like I said, Airbnb will be going IPO on December 10th, Thursday. The time that it will probably be trading will be somewhere around 10 a.m. all the way to about 12 o'clock. Somewhere probably, most likely, I'm leaning towards 11 a.m. on Pacific time. Right? So where does this company hold right now? Let's check out some of its financials. As you can see from right now, their financials isn't super hot because they have been during a pandemic, right? But if you check out from 2017 all the way to 2019, this company has been growing substantially, about almost doubling almost every single year ever since 2017 based on charts. But what we have to look at is not gross, right? Gross is not important. It's always net. Net is the most important thing that you have to look at a company, because that's where they, after all expenses, all taxes, that's what the company is taking home, right? So they were doing very well before this pandemic hit. This pandemic really has crushed this company and brought it down. But you would be surprised once this pandemic is over. I think they're going to be doubling even these numbers from 2019 at a very rapid growth, because once pandemic is over, people want to get the heck out of the house already, right? People are sick and tired of not being able to travel. They're sick and tired of staying home all day. They're sick and tired of not being able to leave their house, right? It's just bound to happen that people will rush to get their flights and go somewhere exotic or go to somewhere new and adventure and go and rent out a Airbnb house. And there's plenty opportunities of that. And I'm going to go over all those opportunities that Airbnb has to offer, right? So if you look at their financials right now, obviously they're doing horrible, right? With the pandemic is doing horrible, but they have been steadily growing year after year. And based on the numbers I was looking at, they're pretty much on a growth rate of about 50% year after year growth in just bookings, right? So that's an exponential growth from around 2015 all the way to around 2019. And I'm going to go over some of that very briefly so you guys can see what I'm talking about and you know where to look some of these up. So on December 1st, Airbnb did file with the SEC. They said they will be publicly traded, and what they said is that they're going to be registering a $50 per share price of about 51.9 million shares on the market. About 50 million of those shares will be Airbnb shares, and 1.9 million of those shares will be from Class A common stock. So it's not directly from Airbnb. It's going to be their own shareholders, their own investors that they had initially in the stock. So they did say Airbnb will be probably trading from around $44 to $50, but expect it to start from $50 price range. And I hope you guys do not expect that you will get it for $50. There's going to be hedge funds and institutions that will probably get access to this company way before retail investors will get their hands on being able to trade it. So I think if you guys are lucky, this stock will start probably trading for around $60 plus. And I don't see this trading for anything less, because it will probably open up around $60, because investors like hedge funds and big banks and all the other first people who have access to this stock will be buying it up pretty rapidly before retail investors such as you guys and me will be able to get access to it to your brokerage's accounts. You guys have WeBull. You guys can see that Airbnb is already posted. They do have a very pretty high PE ratio from what their standpoint is. And they did say they're listing around $44 to $50 per share, but I'm telling you guys, it will be much higher. Their net income has been destructively very low over the last year, because they're not building up, but they are growing year after year at a very exponential rate. Everything about this company seems very good. It's definitely a stock you definitely want to hold long term. All right, if you guys are jumping in for the hype and trading it for the hype, that could be a definitely nice source of income for a quick swing and a quick hype. But if you want to be a long-term investor, I highly suggest waiting for a nice pullback, maybe about 4 to 8 weeks for this pullback to happen. And after 8 weeks, I think this stock will be taking off. I don't expect their first quarter earning report that they're going to be doing on while it's trading is going to be that well. So anything can happen. The stock can go up and down in price when they do their earnings report. But right now, this stock, I do see it taking off from day one on December 10th when they do go IPO. If you look at some of the articles that's been posted, Airbnb did post that they were actually profitable in Q3, $219 million. Even during this pandemic going on, they already are profitable at a crazy pandemic time period. So this makes them pretty hot already, that what they're doing now with all this travel ban, all this economic shutdown, they are still making some crazy bookings. They're still collecting fees. They're still making money. And they already posted their first quarter 3 revenue in profit. That's $219 million already in profit just for Q3. I think they were very surprised to even do that themselves. But what happened is usually companies like this, they have a lot of cutbacks on employees, cutbacks on ad revenues that they spend on. They have a ton of cutbacks, and that is how they can bring that profit in a quarter revenue earning, right? So they must have done a lot of probably tax savings at the same time to post this kind of revenue. So I don't think this number is truly a real net outcome, because they're probably doing a lot of tax savings at the same time in order to book such a net income as well. So don't be fooled by the numbers until they're fully published by the end of the year. You want to see what the Q4 earnings really is. The Q4 earnings is the most important revenue report. The Q3 is not, because Q4 they have to report everything, what they paid in taxes, what they made, what they lost. That's the most Q earnings you have to rely on, not something in between that doesn't always tell you the exact numbers of where the company is headed. But at the same time, they may have declined in revenue, right? They may have said they profited $219 million, but their revenue has declined substantially because of all these economic closures and shutdowns. Also, guys, don't worry about it. I'll post every single article that I'm using and showing you guys in the link in the description below. Are they doing with the 51.9 million shares at $44 to $50 price range? What they want to do is raise $2.6 billion in IPO money, right? So you guys, retail investors, hedge funds, banks, big corporations, they're gonna be paying this company $2.6 billion in order for them to raise money and sell shares, all right? So a lot of that money is going to be going to Airbnb directly. So the rest, about 1.9 million of that is going to be to their shareholders on the side. 50 million, like I told you guys, will go directly to Airbnb itself, and 1.9 million of those shares will be insider trade from Class A stockholders, right? Now, this company is going to be valued at about $35 billion at a $44 to $50 price range, which is up from its previous valuation of $18 billion after they had a $2 billion debt raise. So they pretty much raised $2 billion to collect, right? So they also have some Class B holders with outstanding stocks, and they also still hold most of the majority of the voting power. So you guys need to be very careful when you buy into IPOs, because they can choose on how much they're going to be willing to sell, how much shares they're going to be letting go. So buying IPOs can be extremely risky, but at the same time, a lot of IPOs that are extremely hot and on hype can be very, very profitable, and they will probably skyrocket. Take a quick look over the revenue that they do have posted. And as we can see, this year, 2020, they have a net loss. That's a huge loss, right? $696 million in total losses after all spending, all expenditure, all the gross, all their profits. They come out at a loss, and I'm not worried about this, right? Why? Because the only reason they really had come at a loss is because of the pandemic. If there was no pandemic, they probably would have been growing steadily over the years. When they first started, they had less debt, they had less expense, they had less everything, but they did grow over time, right? They have been constantly growing. Their cost has been decreased because of the pandemic, because they had to cut costs on staff members, on utilization, but they are growing at an exponential rate, and I think if you stick to them long term, it is going to be worth it, and it is going to be one of those stocks that can double within the year or two. Last thing, I just want to show you guys that Airbnb Bookings has been quadrupling since 2015. They started with only 72 million people booking, and then they doubled and doubled and doubled and doubled. And you can expect 2020 to be very bad. Maybe it's going to be half of this, right? Because the pandemic hit, travel ban hit, economy got hit. A lot of people were not able to go anywhere because they were afraid of the virus. They didn't want to get sick or, God forbid, pass away. This is going to be really bad for 2020, but expect in 2021, once the vaccine is released, once all this pandemic is pretty much died down and gone, and everything is hopefully the life will go back to normal, you can expect 2021, these numbers will be substantially high. Maybe I see somewhere around 400 million plus bookings coming back to Airbnb without a doubt. Thanks again for watching my video. As always, make sure to smash that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so YouTube can alert you when my next video comes out. Also, feel free to add me on Instagram. I pretty much post there daily. I post any buys, sales I make. I do post on Instagram. Also, leave a comment below. Let me know what other stocks you guys would like me to do a video on, or if you have questions on a specific stock that you'd like me to help you out and answer, let me know in the comments below. Right now, if you guys want 4 free stocks from the stock market right now, WeBull gives 4 free stocks, one for just signing up to use their platform, and an additional 3 more stocks right now during this promotion. When you deposit of $100 or more, WeBull will give you a total of 4 free stocks with a minimum value of $8 all the way up to $1,600 just from WeBull. Check the link in the description below for that. If you guys want another free stock, FirstTrade gives really, really good stocks. Check the link for that. And also, if you want another free stock, Robinhood gives good stocks as well. Check the link for all of that. Thanks again for watching my video, and until next time, make money with Mike.